Hey you guys, it's your girl Makaya. Welcome to my channel. If you're new and if you're not, thank you so much for joining me again today. So as you guys can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the brushes that are most important to me when I am doing my makeup, because I get a lot of questions from you guys saying, you know, I watch your makeup tutorials but my makeup doesn't come out the way yours does. I need help. I don't know what it is. So if I'm being honest with you, the most important part of makeup to me is your brushes. I feel like you can use any palette from the drugstore, whether it's high-end or a low-end or drugstore palette, any drugstore products. The main ingredient, if we're talking about a result of something, or like, you know, the end goal of something, is your brushes, in my opinion. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the brushes that I use every single time that I do my makeup. I have to use these brushes because they just give me a better outcome. Okay, so I'm done rambling. We're just gonna go ahead and get into it. How do you guys feel about this natural sunlight? I feel like it looks really good. I don't know, I feel like you guys can see, you know, my makeup better than like with artificial lighting or like a ring light and stuff like that. So let me know how you guys feel about the natural lighting, and I can start doing more videos like this, because most of the time I use my ring light just because I get like a more even lighting. But for a video like this, I didn't feel like I needed to do the false lighting, so that's why I'm using natural sunlight. Okay, so let's get into it. So I think the first brushes that I want to talk about are the base, as in like your face brushes. So let me just go ahead and get those in my hands now so I can talk about those. So the first brush that I want to talk about, because when I get started with my face, I do my primer, but I use my hands for that. And then the next brush that I take is my foundation brush, or the brush that I apply my foundation with, and that is this little small brush right here. So this is a concealer brush, but this is a brush from Morphe. It doesn't have a number on it, but it's just like a flat brush, but it's like a concealer brush. This is what I use to trace my brows, the top of my brows, with my foundation, and then I just go ahead and apply the rest of my foundation on my face using this brush. Okay, this is from Morphe. I'm gonna do my best to try to find a link to brushes, either the exact brush or a brush that's similar, so you guys can like go on the website and purchase them. But this is a Morphe brush, just a little flat concealer brush. And then the next brush that I take is my actual foundation brush, the brush that I use to blend out my foundation brush, and to blend out my foundation. And I have two brushes that I want to mention. So the first one that I want to mention is this Real Technique buffing brush. It looks like this. You guys see it a lot in my videos. It's just, this one is more fluffy. It's not as dense. And then the next one is the Morphe M439 brush. This brush is very famous when it comes to foundation in the beauty community. This brush is definitely more dense. And this one is going to get you that really flawless, full coverage look. Okay, so this brush is bomb.com Morphe M439 brush. Check it out. This is definitely still on their website because it's definitely one of their most popular brushes. Now the next brush is, I think I'm gonna go into, okay, contour. So the next thing that I do is contour my face, and I use my Anastasia foundation stick, and I blend it out using this Morphe little small blending brush. So it's almost like a foundation brush, but it's smaller, as you can see. Let me show you guys a comparison. So it's a smaller foundation brush pretty much, and it just blends out my contour really well. It just keeps it right where I laid it. It doesn't diffuse it as much as if I'm trying to use like a brush like this big. It just keeps it where it needs to be. So that's why I love using this brush. And it is similar to the next brush that I'm going to be talking about. As you guys can see, it's pretty close in size, except for this one is a bit bigger. But this is the brush that I use to set my contour. So to set my contour, I use a MAC M109. A MAC 109 brush, and this is what it looks like. And I just take my powder and I apply my powder in circular motions to set my contour, and that's on my forehead, my cheekbones, jawline, all that. Okay, this is the only brush that I don't use on my nose. I don't use this on my nose at all to set my contour, just because it's too big to contour the nose or to set the nose contour. So the next brush that I use for that is the Morphe M332 brush, and it looks like this. And this is the brush that I use to set the contour of my nose. So I just take my powder, the same powder that I use on my face, and I just set my contour on my nose with this brush. This is the M332 brush from Morphe. Now the next brush I'm gonna talk about is the, you guys, this brush doesn't even have a name on it, but I got this brush from either a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx. As you guys know, I do a lot of makeup finds with Makaya, so I find a bunch of different stuff in there, and I see a lot of brushes, and I came across this one. This was a brush that was in like a package alone, so it was just this brush, but it didn't have a name on it, and I don't even remember the company, but it's basically just a big old fluffy brush. This is what I use to bronze my skin with my MAC mineralized skin finish. So yeah, this brush is fire. Another brush that you could use that has, let me see, has a name for it, that is similar, it's a little bit different, but they're very similar. This is the Morphe M106 brush, super big and fluffy. This one just has a more pointier tip. That's the only difference with these two brushes. So if you guys don't find a brush like this at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, the best next one is the Morphe M106 brush. Okay, now next on the list is my blush. So to apply my brush, I use my Morphe M105 brush. This is what it looks like. It almost looks like a powder brush, but it's more flat. Like this is from the side, this is from the front, and this is from the side. It's flatter. I don't like using the blush brushes that are at an angle for some reason. I just like a regular flat brush, in my opinion. So this is the best one, and this is the Morphe M105 brush, and this is the brush that I use for blush. That's a mouthful. Okay, now the next brush, this brush is for highlighter for my face. So I use the Sigma tapered highlighter brush. This is the F35 brush, and it looks like this. You guys know, a regular highlighting brush. I used to use this brush when I first really started doing makeup. It's the Morphe M509, and it's super like fluffy, but it was getting the highlighter all over my face, and I didn't like it. This brush puts the highlighter exactly where I want it on my face, so I stick to this one. You just, you know, tap it in your highlighter and just tap it on your face, either like this or like this. And I do the same with like my Cupid's bow, forehead, chin, and my nose. Sometimes I don't use this brush for my nose. I just use like a regular pencil brush, the same brush that you would use to like do your eyeliner and stuff like that. I mean, not eyeliner, but lower lash eyeshadow. And this is a Morphe brush too, but I can't tell what the number is. It looks like a M160 or M169. I'm not sure, but I'll try to find something similar to this on the Morphe website and put it down below so you guys can check it out. And then last but not least, for the face brushes, I use the Real Technique contour brush. This is the brush that I use to set under my jawline after I'm done contouring. You guys know I take foundation and I place it under my jawline just to like clean up the contour, just because it can sometimes, you know, come down a little bit. So I use this brush to set the foundation that I put under here, or if I need to add a little bit more powder like under my eyes or, you know, my chin and stuff, this is the brush that I use for that. And it is, again, the Real Technique contouring brush. And yeah, it's just super little. I keep it in my purse for if I need to touch up my makeup when I'm out. This is the brush that I take with me, just because it can pretty much do a lot of stuff. It can contour, it can set, you know, period. And the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to face tools, I wanted to talk about my sponge. This is the sponge that I use. This is a beauty blender, a real beauty blender. I like the Real Technique sponges. However, they they're not as soft as these, in my opinion. There are some people who feel like the Real Technique sponges are better than these. You would just have to try on your own and see. I've tried the Morphe sponges, they're okay. I've tried the Real Technique sponges, I feel like they're better than the Morphe sponges, but I honestly haven't found a sponge that's better than the Real Beauty Blender. So I definitely have to have this to do my makeup every single time. So I definitely need to get a new one though. I used to have a pink one, but that one started looking super crazy and disgusting. So I decided to go with black, just so, you know, it doesn't, you can't really see the stains on it like you can with the pink one. Okay, so yeah, let's get into the rest of these brushes for the eyes and the lid. So the first brush that I'm going to talk about these two. So the first two brushes that I want to talk about for the eyes, this is the Wet n Wild. You guys, I don't even know what they don't even have like a name for this brush. It's just like basically a little small flat brush, like an eyeshadow brush by Wet n Wild. I actually found this at Dollar Tree, and you guys, I think I went back and bought like 3 more because they're so bomb. This is the only brush that I use to conceal under my brows. A little Wet n Wild brush that was like 99 cents, $1. And then to blend out my concealer that I put on my eyes, I use the Real Technique domed shadow brush. So it's basically a more dense shadow brush. I would never use this for shadow because I feel like it would like literally pack on entirely too much in my opinion. So I use this to blend out my eyeshadow, not eyeshadow, I'll use it to blend out my concealer on my eyes before I do my eyeshadow. So those are the first two. After that, I think I would, yeah, the next brush that I would use after I'm done with my base is this brush. This is the Morphe M518 brush, and this is the brush that I use for all of my transition shades, for any look, whether it's a pink, blue, yellow, neutral eyeshadow look, it doesn't matter. I use the same brush for my transition area, and it's just because it diffuses the product like super well, super soft, and it just blends out just so seamlessly. I've used some brushes back when I like first started doing makeup, and I would try to do my transition area, and it would just leave it looking very like streaky. I don't know, it just wasn't the best look. So when I came across this brush, I actually found it at my local Ulta, and I was just like, oh, I wonder how this would do with transition area, with the transition area. And ever since then I've been using this brush, so she's a keeper. I need to go buy a few more because it seems like every time I mention a product on here, the next, like when I go looking for it again, it's sold out. So I don't know if you guys are actually buying this stuff or if I'm like hallucinating, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go buy a couple more of these. And then the next brush for when I'm trying to do the crease or the outer V portion of my eye, I use the Sigma tapered blending brush. This is the E40 brush. As you can see, it's a much longer or taller brush. The bristles are longer versus this one. I'm gonna try to see if I can put them right next to each other where they begin. So as you guys can see, there's a little bit more of a height difference in these two brushes, but this one does really good in the crease. This brush, I've tried to use this brush for the crease before, and it just sprays it a little too much, which is why I just strictly use that from the transition area. But this one really does get into your crease or the outer V portion and just packs it on really nicely. Not too heavy, but not too light. But to be honest, I used to use this brush a lot. However, I feel like I don't have to when it comes to this brush because I can use it to do so many things that it's not necessary for me to use this brush just to pack on a shade on my outer V, if that makes sense. However, I will still mention it because it is a great brush. This is the Sigma blending brush. This is the E25 brush, but I don't use this brush as much as I used to anymore, which is why I wasn't really gonna mention it, but I just was like, let me go ahead and put that in there. The next two brushes are just regular eyeshadow brushes that I use to pack on either matte or shimmers or glitters, pretty much. I tend to use the smaller brush for my more like my matte shades. This is the Morphe M124 brush. It's just a little small eyeshadow brush, and I tend to use this more for when I'm using matte eyeshadows. And then I use the Morphe, you guys, this one doesn't even have a number on it because I feel like some of these brushes came in like a collection, like a brush collection, and they didn't even put like names or numbers on them. So yeah, that's why I can't really tell y'all the number of it, but it's just like a bigger eyeshadow brush from Morphe. And this is what I use to do like my glitters or more shimmer shades in palettes, because it just seems to pick up more product for me, and I can get my makeup done faster, because that's the whole yeah, it's better when you can do your makeup faster rather than sitting doing your makeup for 3 hours when you can get it done in like an hour, you know what I mean? So yeah, you guys, those are pretty much all of the items that I use or tools that I use to apply my makeup. You guys know that I use tweezers to apply my eyelashes. I'm going to show you guys those really quickly if I can find them. And here they are. This is what they look like. They're just like some little curved tweezers. I'm really thinking about selling these because a lot of people ask me where I get them from, and I'm just like, you know, why would I give these people all this money, you know, when I can just sell my own? But I'll let you guys know if I do ever decide to sell these. But yeah, just type in curved eyelash tweezers and they might pop up. It's probably not gonna be these just because I know where I got them from, but yeah, I use these to apply my lashes. And yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. I use this tool sometimes for my real eyelashes, and this is the Morphe M221 brush, and it just basically separates the eyelashes. So you just put on your mascara, and then once it dries, you just rake it through and it separates them instead of them like clumping up, unless that's the look that you're going for. But it definitely separates them really well. But that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you guys own any of these brushes, if you are planning on getting any of these brushes. Let me know if you guys feel like brushes are like the most important part of like a makeup kit, because I feel that way. I feel like you can achieve a look using any eyeshadow palette. You can get a drugstore foundation, drugstore concealer, drugstore powders, lip products, all of that, or you can use high-end. But if you're not using good brushes or brushes of quality, your makeup is not going to come out the way you want it to. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. As you guys can tell, lately I've been trying to do more like, not really teaching, but like more educational makeup videos, as in like telling you guys what products I like, where I got them from, what eyeshadows I use, what face products I use and stuff like that, just because I know you guys have a difficult time going out to stores and trying to pick products and wondering if they're good or not. So I just want to let you guys know the stuff that I've come across that have helped me or that I really enjoy. So yeah, hopefully this helps you guys. I know I'm rambling a lot, but yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Okay, bye y'all.